Welcome to the fascinating world of the pyramids of Egypt. In this video, we will explore 5 little-known curiosities about these majestic structures that have fascinated the world for thousands of years. We will discover how the Great Pyramid of Giza was the largest structure built by man for 3,800 years, how ancient engineering was challenged to build these structures, and how the complex internal structure of the Great Pyramid of Giza remains a mystery to archaeology and Egyptology experts. We will also explore how the workers who built the pyramids were not slaves, but free men who received a salary and housing, and how the pyramids were not solitary constructions, but were part of larger funerary complexes. Get ready to learn something new and exciting about the wonders of the ancient world. The pyramids in Egypt were not isolated constructions, but were built as part of large funerary complexes that were intended to honor and preserve the bodies of pharaohs and other important members of Egyptian society. These funerary complexes included a series of complementary buildings and structures that served various purposes. For example, the Great Pyramid of Giza, built for the pharaoh Khufu, is part of a complex that includes 3 smaller pyramids, a mortuary temple, a valley temple, and a processional causeway that connects the 2 temples. The mortuary temple was located on the edge of the Giza Plateau and was the place where priests performed funerary rituals and offered sacrifices to the deceased pharaoh. The valley temple was located in the plain at the foot of the plateau and was the place where the funerary process began. The processional causeway connected the 2 temples and is believed to have been used to carry the deceased pharaoh from the valley temple to the mortuary temple. In addition, these complexes also included shrines for deities, altars, chapels, statues, and other ceremonial buildings. Many of these buildings and structures have disappeared over time, but some still survive in some funerary complexes such as those in Giza, Saqqara, and Abydos. In summary, the funerary complexes associated with the pyramids were not only places to preserve and honor pharaohs and other important members of Egyptian society, but were also important ceremonial centers for Egyptian religion and social life of the time. The workers who built the pyramids in ancient Egypt were mostly free men who worked as part of an organized and highly specialized workforce. Most of them were farmers who worked on the construction of the pyramids during the Nile's flooding season, when they could not work on their lands. During this time, the Nile River overflowed and the lands were unproductive, leaving many farmers without work. The workers were hired by the state and received a salary for their work. They were also provided with housing and food during the time it took to build the pyramid. Historical records indicate that workers received a salary in the form of food rations such as bread, onions, and beer. In addition, they were provided with clothing and tools to perform their work. The workers were divided into specialized teams, each with a specific task in the construction of the pyramid. There were teams to cut and transport stones, teams to carve and polish the stones, and teams to build the structures of the pyramid. The teams were supervised by overseers and priests who were responsible for maintaining order and discipline on the site. It is true that some prisoners of war and criminals were also used as workers in the construction of the pyramids, but these groups represented only a small part of the total workforce. Most of the workers were free men who worked as part of an organized and highly specialized workforce. In summary, the workers who built the pyramids were not slaves, but free workers who received a salary and provision of food and housing during the time it took to build. The Great Pyramid of Giza is a monumental structure located on the Giza Plateau, just outside the city of Cairo in Egypt. It was built as a tomb for the pharaoh Khufu, who ruled Egypt during the 4th dynasty, around 2550 BC. The pyramid stands at a height of 147 meters and has a square base measuring 230 meters on each side, making it one of the largest structures ever built by man. For many centuries, the Great Pyramid of Giza was the tallest structure in the world, until it was surpassed by Lincoln Cathedral in England in the 13th century. In fact, the Great Pyramid of Giza was the largest structure built by man for approximately 3,800 years, until the construction of Lincoln Cathedral. The construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza was a monumental project that involved thousands of workers and took around 20 years to complete. The pyramid was built from limestone blocks, which were cut from nearby quarries and transported to the site using a system of ramps. It is believed that the pyramid contains around 2.3 million stone blocks, each with an average weight of 2.5 tons. Despite modern technological advances, it is still unknown exactly how the Great Pyramid of Giza was constructed and how the level of precision observed in its construction was achieved. The ancient Egyptians did not leave detailed records of how they built the pyramid, so archaeologists and historians have had to rely on archaeological evidence and theory to try to explain its construction. In summary, the Great Pyramid of Giza is one of the most impressive and mysterious structures ever built by man. Its size and complexity continue to amaze visitors and experts in archaeology and history, and its construction remains one of the greatest mysteries of antiquity. The Great Pyramid of Giza is undoubtedly an impressive engineering feat, and its construction demonstrates the incredible knowledge that the ancient Egyptians had of architecture and engineering. One of the most impressive aspects of the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza is the size and precision of the stone blocks used. Many of the blocks weigh several tons, and they were cut and polished with astonishing precision. The blocks fit together so well that even after thousands of years, there is no space between them. The stone blocks were cut from nearby quarries and transported to the site via a system of ramps. Another impressive aspect of the Great Pyramid of Giza is its orientation. The pyramid is oriented almost exactly to magnetic north, with an accuracy of less than half a degree. This means that the ancient Egyptians had to have advanced knowledge of astronomy and geometry to achieve this precise orientation. In addition to its size and precision, the Great Pyramid of Giza also features other impressive characteristics. For example, the entrance to the pyramid is located on the north side, at a height of approximately 17 meters. From there, a long passageway leads to the king's chamber, which is located in the center of the pyramid. The king's chamber is constructed with enormous blocks of granite, some of which weigh more than 25 tons. There are also a series of additional chambers and passageways in the pyramid, some of which have not yet been fully explored. In summary, the Great Pyramid of Giza is an impressive display of engineering and architecture, which demonstrates the advanced knowledge that the ancient Egyptians had in these fields. Its precision and size continue to amaze visitors and experts around the world, and its construction remains one of the greatest mysteries of antiquity. The Great Pyramid of Giza has a complex internal structure composed of several passages, chambers, and galleries. The descending passage, which starts at the north entrance of the pyramid, is a steep ramp that leads to an unfinished underground chamber. The ascending passage leads to the Grand Gallery, a long room with sloping walls and high ceilings, which leads to the King's Chamber. The King's Chamber is one of the most impressive internal chambers of the pyramid and is located at the center of the structure. The chamber has a height of over 5 meters and is made entirely of polished red granite. In the chamber, an empty granite sarcophagus was found, suggesting that the chamber was not designed to house a sarcophagus, but had another purpose. There is also a queen's chamber, located above the king's chamber and connected to it through a series of passages. In addition to these chambers, there are other passages and chambers in the Great Pyramid of Giza that have not yet been fully explored. For example, there is a series of chambers and galleries located in the lower part of the pyramid, which could have been used to store food and supplies during the construction of the pyramid. There is also an unfinished underground chamber and a shaft located in the descending passage. The complex internal structure of the pyramid remains the subject of investigation and study for archaeologists and Egyptologists. I hope you enjoyed this brief journey into the world of the pyramids of Egypt. See you next time.